Hey everybody, and welcome back to SV Blown Away. Now, if you have watched the last couple of episodes, you will know that I have ripped the soul out of Blown Away, and I'm in the process of building a complete new floor. So welcome back on board. And my name is Ian, and I own a steel ketch called Blown Away. And for the past 20 plus years, she has been my home. And you join us on the Greek island of Meganisi, where we are making repairs. So here's a quick recap on what we did last week. So the idea is we're going to build these two first. These two are the more complicated ones. So with that plan in mind, we cut the frame and the backing boards for the first two panels. I have one frame glued together. I couldn't film this, it was just so manic. I had glue everywhere. Literally everywhere. Awning's out. Not for the sunshine. So yesterday we glued this up. So this now just needs to be unclamped. And then we'll look at the other face of it. This is the back of the board, so this will need just to clean up and run over with a belt sander. It's 6mm ply. I routed a 6mm groove into the Iroko. So this should be fairly flush. But on the other side it should be a rebate, and the rebate is where the parquet flooring is going to go. Not my first choice. My first choice would have been proper marine grade flooring, but at £2 a panel, not happening. So let's unwrap this and see what we've got. This is the absolute perfect marine workshop bench. Possibly go wrong. Fully expecting this to be stuck to the bench that I made, so I'm not really overly surprised if it doesn't come up at first opportunity. There you go. First glance. Basically this inlay will sit inside of here. All this will be sanded and epoxied. So expecting that to be fairly heavy, but it's not. It's quite light. I know we've got the main boards to go in as well, but they're not overly heavy either. I don't know. I'm not a joiner. I'm not a joiner. I'm not a joiner. I'm not a joiner. I'd make a good joiner cry. Wise man once told me, why sand when you can scrape? Never forgot that, Dick. Dick was his name, by the way. He's not a dick. He's not a dick as in dick head. His name is Dick. Stop it. This is the board that I made, so this is glued into this frame, and I am currently sanding it back so that it's completely flush, and the one on the floor that I've knocked about is the next one, that is number 2. A few bits here that I'll just have to run some more epoxy into. I'm going to paint all the back of this anyway, so all of this has to be cleaned up and faired a little bit better. But that's the back of floorboard number 1 made. And I need to clean up the edges because I've still got rough cut on the edge. Should we do that now? May as well. I always feel like we've got too much sanding footage. Don't know. What do you think? It bores the pants off of me. Want to watch it? This is our top face. So this is the bit that you will see. This now has to be cleaned up, obviously. You see we've still got the saw marks from the circular saw. All that has to come out. And then buried underneath that top are the Iroko sections that I will be sinking into this. One of these, for the exhaust system on the boat, there's a couple of water hoses, so I do need to cut scallops into this, but I'm not sure the sizes, so we will mark that out when we're in the boat. I should clamp this down again, eh? I watch Magic Carpet and Tally Ho, and I watch their work, and it's like, well, it blows me away. I think their skill set's just on another level, you know, and their attention to detail is something else. I don't have time for that. And considering that I cut these things with a 10-year-old wood saw from Lidl's on a wobbly bar stool bench, they actually haven't come out that bad. And you also have to remember that these things were never put through a thicknesser, so they are as bent as a donkey's back leg. So I do have to do a lot of sanding on these to get them somewhere near flat. Now, Blown Away's interior is made from teak and was built back in the 1970s. She was built by the McKenna family, who you'll see in our outro. I don't tend to modify too many things on this boat because the build quality is sublime. Most of the work that I do is restoration work as opposed to replacement work. But these floor panels are stepping away from the original design. We need to plug in the dehumidifier. We've had a lot of rain and it is immensely damp inside of the boat. I need to do the epoxy work, and the epoxy is me inlaying the Iroko into this frame. I can't do it outside, it's been raining far too much, the moisture is horrible. So I'm going to run the dehumidifier. I'm going to put my fan heater in here. I'm going to try and warm the boat up a little bit, and then tomorrow, if I cut the Iroko, tomorrow, fingers crossed, that goes back together. And I've got one done. So this is where it's going to fit, is right here. And this is why I'm not living on the boat at the moment, because even walking around here like this, it's just deadly. I'm here on my own. I fall down in there and I'm going to be hurting so badly. Okay. Okay. So we have to take a cutout here. I wasn't sure exactly where that cutout was going to have to be. There's a cutout there for those hoses, and I wasn't sure how much I'm going to have to take out, but I think it's going to have to be most of that frame. So yeah, I have to cut this out here. So this here needs to be cut out to allow these hoses to for access. So what we end up with is a floor that is split this way instead of one big panel here. This used to be one big panel that lifted up and slid out, which was quite large. I actually had to take the butterfly hatches out to get it out because it wouldn't go out the companionway. The panel was too big, and I wasn't sure if I wanted it again, so I didn't slice it in half. But okay, I'm quite happy with that. I think if I inlay that with the Iroko, there'll be another one here, another one there, and one there. The first one's always going to take me a bit longer because I'm slow working. I don't have the workshop facilities, so I'm never going to get to the kind of quality that I want. Nothing about this job has been easy. So I'm currently marking out where I need to make the cut for the water hoses. And I need to bring the heater across. I've got to dry the boat out. I've got to use the inside of the boat to make this stuff. The clock is ticking. The flooring that we're using, it's a pre-varnished Iroko, so kind of looks like teak. This is the old one. So this is the old board with the black stripes on it, and obviously the patches and stuff. So I'm figuring that is going to look a lot nicer. Yeah, it's quite nice. Try and get this in before it rains. Come on, get out of my way. We're inside. Okay, we're going to mix up some resin. The reason I'm putting this in the resin rather than gluing it in or using like a caulking or something is that I want it to have waterproof qualities. I did those lockers, I did the locker lids outside with resin, and I've also done this hatch with resin as well, so it's like a solid piece rather than kind of voids. I think where there's voids you get moisture, when you get moisture you get rot, and this, you know, this has to last the rest of the life of the boat really. So I need to yeah, I need to be quite, not aggressive with this, but I need to make sure that it's properly stuck down. I want to do that with epoxy. That's my next job. Let's do this. Kind of tried to level it off as best as I can. I think we're close to level. If I need to mix some more up, obviously I can, so that the epoxy doesn't flow to one end or another. Yeah, I'll leave all that running overnight. Try and get it dry and hot, which is what you need for epoxy. I think West system quote 15 degrees, so it has to be warmer than 15 degrees. And I'm not going to get that outside. And I got massive moisture contents outside, so far better for me to do this inside, albeit a bit awkward with no floor down. Should be a good quantity. And obviously with this I need to make sure that it is in exactly the right spot. That's nice, it's floated in, that's good. I like it when it floats in like that. And I just need to find some bits of wood or something just to pack it. Probably break up a few of those mixing sticks just to pack it into the right position. And these are just simple tongue depressors, but they're really, really good for mixing epoxy or paints and stuff. They're readily available on the internet. And I'm just using these to pack out each edge so that this doesn't slide one way or the other. I think it's still sliding towards the galley sink, but I'll probably run a router around this before I do the caulking just to clean up the edge just a little bit. But no, I think that's pretty good. Yeah. We just leave that now. Hopefully the resin sets. Bit of nightmare if it doesn't. Leave the heater on, leave the dehumidifier running. This one's a little bit more complicated because I have the cutout for the nav station desk. So while panel number 1 is inside the boat enjoying my heater and the dehumidifier, I'm getting on with panel number 2. Now if you know the boat, the nav station desk is on starboard side. Looking at this, this is the backing board. So this whole panel will flip over like that, hence the cutout at the moment is on the wrong side. If that makes any sense whatsoever. It is very close. Just little fractions out, look at that, I mean we are just fractions out. Clamped together on an old bar stool. And remember that being a boat, nothing on board is actually square. It is all tapered to fit the shape of the boat. You just got to laugh at this. That one's spot on. That one's spot on. That one's okay. So the only one I'm a little bit worried about is this. That's good enough. It's not going anywhere. Right, this will clamp down. Let's cut a backing board for it. I think that's about as good as I can get it, to be honest. The question is, can I get away with the amount of glue? Probably yes. So now I have to work pretty quickly. With the clamps taken off, I can work the glue in between all of the joints. But this stuff sets pretty quick, and I need to make sure that all of those clamps are back in position before the glue sets. And with this one clamped together, we can now leave it overnight for the glue to harden. Sunday. Sunday is a good day because there is no construction traffic on a Sunday. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but that is the singer at the church. So nice not to have the trucks wake me up in the mornings. Anyways, epoxy. Let's go take a look, see if it's gone off hard. Heating's still on. I have high hopes. Thank God. And yeah, that has definitely gone off hard. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so worried about this not going off. That's perfect. Okay. Should we put it in place and stand on it? Should we get adventurous? I'm really sorry about the gratuitous excitement. I really need to rein it in. Oh, I'm so pleased with that. I'll take those little sticks out and I'll run the route around that just to make the edge all exactly the same, so that when I'll put some, in fact I'll probably do the caulking today. Yeah, let's do the caulking today, eh? Let's get this one done. Not too shabby. Going around the frame, cleaning the frame up, and I'm just trying to get the levels right. So when we cut it with a circular saw, I don't have a guide rail, so it's really difficult for me to cut it in a dead straight line. So there's a few little kind of, you know, undulations. I like that word, undulations. I'll use that again. So these undulations need to get gone, and that is what I'm working on. So yeah, just going over it with a belt sander, cleaning it up. So basically parts of the frame are higher than the boards in the middle. So what I'm trying to do is level the whole thing off so that there are no trip hazards at all on this floor. And besides, who doesn't love to watch a bit of sanding? And I'm just using a small amount of 240 grit to finish this off so that there are no rough edges. Guess what I'm doing? Temperatures are due to drop. I think we're going down to like 8 degrees, which on the scale of things is not cold, but it is not good when you're working with epoxy or glue, because it takes a lot longer to go off in those kind of temperatures. We are ready to do some deck caulk. And the product that I'm using here is Sikaflex 290 DC, the DC standing for deck caulking, which is sandable. This could be the messy corner. Hoping not, but I just find it's quite important to get the tape off before this stuff goes dry. And panel number 1 can now go back inside of the boat next to panel number 2, which is currently cooking in the heat. Okay, let's cut the section out for the exhaust hose. I don't want to go all the way through this. I'm going to start from the other side so that it doesn't rip out. If I keep going with this, it's literally just going to tear out of the hole on this side and it'll look awful. So once I see daylight through the hole, I'm going to flip the board over and drill it from the other side so that, and then the plywood won't rip. And the reason I'm using those big drill bits is to create a rounded edge, and then this won't split. Time to see if it fits in the right spot. And because this board is twice as thick as the old ones, this small piece of trim is in the way, so I need to reduce its height. And if you haven't heard me celebrate before now, here it comes. Oh yeah. Exhaust hoses are cut in, it's a solid fit, which I'm happy about. This is the cutout for the little pole dancing pole in the galley. Not that anyone's ever danced around it, but hey, live in hope. Join us again next week when the excitement continues. It's just horrible, isn't it? Whatever you do with this stuff, you always get it over your hands and it never comes off. Right, you lot, that is it for this week. Some of us have got things to do. This is the point in the video where I show you just how attractive our supporters are. Bill, Liam, David, Captain Svetlana, Eric and Trev, thank you so much for your monthly support. It is much appreciated. And a massive shout out to these people that have made donations to the coffee fund. From a coffee addict, thank you very much. If you'd like to join our coffee crew, please hit the QR code or follow the link in the description down below. And a huge shout out to our monthly Patreon supporters: Matt, Michael, Ian, Miles, Timmy, JG, Graham and Jim Bracken. Thank you so much for your support. Much appreciated, gentlemen. And a personal shout out to Jeff and Par. Thank you so much for your past support. It really was appreciated. We hope to see you back sometime, gentlemen. And if you'd like to watch more of these videos, click the link on the left. And don't forget to subscribe by clicking the link on the right. And we hope to see you again next week.
I know I'll be okay, 'cause I found my way.